Hi, this is James from JC's New Wubbin Interviews. I'm here with Steve Haslam from Troyen, an old school New Wubbin band from back in the day up north. Steve's going to answer some questions that I've got here. Steve, you all cool?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. All cool, all
I'm
cool.
getting there. I'll put my glasses on because I'm blind as a bat. A bit like Paul in the last interview.
So, when and where did Troyen form?
Well, Newton-le-Willows, which is in sunny Cheshire in 1981, January, I think it was. Obviously, it wasn't me. It was two founding members that are still in the band, which is Jeff Badley and Steve Maguire. Nick, I replaced Nick as the guitarist, and I still consider myself one of the new guys, but I'm actually been in longer than Nick ever was in the band, so which is strange. Yeah, really good, really good. Yeah, it's one of those things. I was Kev Wynn from Tyson Dog. Basically was mothered by Jeff to ask about me to join the band. Honestly, I didn't know anything about them. Didn't know anything about them at all. I'm more into your shredding, guitar hero type rock.
Yeah, like Malmsteen and all that, Steve Vai, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Hence the reason why collection of Ibanez's and Charvels and Jacksons and everything like that. Yeah, I'm more of a Van Halen, George Lynch type player. So I was a bit, reticent, but went along, enjoyed the thing, and subsequently really, really enjoying what we're doing now at the moment.
So you're officially, I mean, from what I know, you joined obviously quite recently, but as you said, you were in the band longer. So when did you officially join?
January 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Subsequently, I thought, right, I'll join the band. I'd not been in a band for quite some time, due to the fact that I hate band members.
Some of them are
there's
douches,
always something going on, and I thought, all right, I don't want to get myself into that all over again. But I was convinced with Troyen, and the rest of the lads are absolutely fantastic. No egos, no whatever. We just get down and do it, and that's what I like about Troyen, is the fact that we've all got a bit of a driving force behind us. And it's coming on good. It's coming on good. But I just didn't realise until the other day, before we were all locked down, we were the last few practices, that I realised that I've actually been in the band longer than Nick Mannion ever was.
he was the original guitarist, wasn't he? I think
he was the original guitarist. Yeah, he rejoined back in for Brofest when the band reformed. There's a few people. Jeff was being asked, "Can we reform? Can we reform?" And it ended up that they reformed, obviously. Hence, from that new CD, new single came out. Obviously, I had nothing to do with that. The hardest thing in the world for me was actually trying to learn other people's tunes and still keep it relevant for the way I play. I tend to get a bit too technical, but
no, I have seen
shoot me.
You can play, which is really, really awesome. Really shreddy licks and all that. So it's really, really cool. Just to go back to your point on the whole band ego thing, I find that in the new Wubbin or the new wave of British heavy metal, bands just have this community sense that everyone's like all together as friends, and that's what I find. I mean, obviously I'm younger, but I'm in a band called Rampant, and Andrew Colton's Give 'Em Hell.
I know.
And I was in V1 as well, but that was New Wubbin based as well. And everyone's just really nice, and that's how it should be. It shouldn't be
I appreciate that. I mean, the fact is that me, Kev Wing, and Craig Fernley Clanger out of Sister Rose, when we did the Grim Up North thing. Yeah, and that's where I met you
Grim
before.
Up North, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met you before. I was a stage manager there. Yeah, I like to shout at people, but at the end of the day, I'm thinking there's no point shouting at people. There's no point having a big ego. We're not going to be playing Madison Square Garden this time next week, and that's the sort of band that we thought were in, but they weren't prepared to do anything about it. Whereas, good set of lads, you know.
Well, the other thing with Troyen is as well, you guys seem to be really up on the whole merch thing on your Facebook as well, and your
That's
Instagram.
That's Jeffrey. Jeffrey's responsible for that. That's what I like about Jeff, is the fact that he does push it. He does push it. I mean, what I bring to the band is the fact that the last EP that we did, Bless the Cotton Socks, they didn't have much idea of what they wanted. The last bass player, Andy, since left and Mark's joined, hadn't got, no disrespect to Andy, but he was a bit a fish out of water when it came to the studio work. So that's what I bring to the thing, because I've got studio experience, and you know, I'm a Mac engineer, so I use Logic all the time. And yeah, we can get some stuff down. Subsequently, we are actually in the process of doing new material for the new album in November.
Yeah, so I believe the last EP was called A New Dawn, wasn't it?
Yes.
A New Dawn.
Yeah.
So a couple of tracks on there. Nightmare's probably my favourite. If you haven't heard it, check it out on the website or on their Facebook, Troyen's Facebook. There's also the one before, I think it's called Storm Child. Did you play guitar on that one?
Yeah. I don't know. No. There's a couple of the tracks on the EP that were re-recorded. Syrian Lady and another one. another one. That I re-recorded. I always felt that the Troyen material was really good, but it was under-recorded. It was a bit wishy-washy, so we decided to record a few.
It wasn't Dreams Never Lie, was it? It was either Dreams Never Lie or
hang on.
Crazy Lady.
Hang on a second.
There it is.
It says your track listing. Sorry about this, people. It is Don't Send Me to War.
That's it. Don't Send Me to War.
There's two versions of Don't Send Me to War in it. Yeah.
There's quite a few remasters of that one, isn't there? Restructured versions.
I mean, the actual EP now is actually on the last release we had with Classic Metal Records, who was signed to. The anthology, which is everything that Troyen have ever done, plus demos and stuff like that, plus the EP. The reason why we called it New Dawn, I think, stands obvious reasons, really. You know, it's a new dawn for us. New bass player, me, you know, and the original members. We're a different animal now, as Jeff would say, you know. And yeah, I mean, what I find amazing is the receptions that we've got on the continent, South America. For me to come into a New Orleans band and do this, I didn't realise there was that sort of scene. I thought you were part of that, because prior to this, I used to be part of a festival called Firefest in Nottingham, where I was a guitar tech and obviously dealt with a lot of my heroes. And I always thought it was like, you know, it's like a literal niche genre. But no, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, as I was saying, I mean, I have a lot of respect for the new album, because there was thousands of bands doing it. Probably over-exaggerating, but a lot of bands. But they're kind of the originators of the whole heavy metal scene, some of them, because obviously you got Maiden and things like that, and a few others before that, Witchfind, and influenced bands like Metallica and things like that. So people kind of have to remember this, that these guys kind of originated it. So So that brings me. No, go on, Steve. Go on.
So I mean, it's just the fact that, I mean, we went over to the continent in the back end of last year to play Blast from the Past, and to me it was one of those, nobody had seen us recently, And then we got the good reception that we did, and people are like coming up to me saying, wow, you know, this, that, and the other. Really appreciate that. You know, from other bands, I'm saying, you know, really, humbled, I think.
I think you guys played like a proper heavy festival recently with some proper heavy bands, didn't you? I think you were the only New Album band on the bill, I think. It was called. What was it called?
What's it called?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it
we did
was.
Bottom of Pass in Belgium.
Yeah, but there was one up north, and you played. I noticed that you played with a lot of more heavier bands, and then I think you guys.
Oh, was that the one in Oxford?
I think that's what it was. Yeah. In Oxford.
Yeah. I was a bit worried about that, to be honest with you, because
there were some heavy bands on that bill.
Yeah, we turned up and we were actually headlining that day, and I'm thinking, this is thrash. This is really dark stuff. Then we get on and play all our widdly happy music to a degree. Happy music to a degree, but yeah, we went down well. Yeah, went down well. Apart from it chucking it down all the time, but I look like a drowned
outside
rat.
then.
Strange. No. I looked like a drowned rat when I went on stage. So it's
That's the thing with gigs like that. You've got to, especially if you look at the bill, you've got to be like, am I going to go down well at this gig? I'm not too sure. I've been there myself.
Yeah, I mean, the Bottom of the Pass thing was, we're halfway through the set, and you got like Gravedigger and Exciter on there, which were pretty heavy. But I think it was a good juxtaposition.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Not completely all thing, and then get one. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Well, that leads me to my next question. So, what got you into playing guitar, and was it your first instrument you played?
Madness. Yeah. Right. I was pretty lucky. I got given a guitar when I was 6 years old. A Fender Strat, would you believe? An original 62 Fender Strat.
Brilliant. I'm a Strat man myself. I like Fender Strats.
The reason why that was, I saw Richard Blackmore on telly, 1973 Denmark concert in black and white. A 6-year-old, I just went, I want to be that. I want to do that. And yeah, from then on, main instrument has always been guitar. I play a bit of keys, but nothing to write home about. It was, I kind of put it on the back burner when I was younger, obviously, because you do when you're a kid. But then I went watching Sabbath on the anniversary tour. There was a certain Van Halen backing them up, and that was it. I went from there. I thought, right, yeah, I need to get into this. So ever since then, I've had a problem with it.
Just going and pursuing. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's just my obsession with collecting guitars. You see.
Like you said, so we were talking about Ibanez guitars. You've got a good collection of them. So.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. To me right here, you can't see it, but they're all hung up on the wall. Yeah, quite a few.
I've got an Ibanez myself. It's not the most expensive one. I think it's a. If I just look, it's an SA series. So it's one of the ones.
I think you actually messaged me a red one.
Yeah, that's the one I was messaging.
Yeah, you messaged about. Yeah.
I ended up buying it. I found one. I wanted one with like a kind of a through neck.
Right.
Yeah, and I ended up getting it, so quite a good.
Right, I don't have any S's. Yeah, but I mean, this is my main.
Wow, that's wicked.
That's my main gigging guitar at the moment.
It's like snakeskin.
Yeah, I did that myself.
Wow, that's wicked.
Yeah, but I don't know what it. I mean, it's a 1980s Charvel, Japanese Charvel. It was a bag of shite when I got it, so I just did it up and
modified.
Can we say bag of shite on the internet? Bag of shite, bag of shite. No, so just stuck with new pickups in it, and it's turned out to be one of my favourite guitars out of the myriads I've got.
Yeah,
but
as we were talking about, as David Smith was talking about, no one ever wants to part ways with their guitars. But I've had to do it at times. Like I've had to sell stuff.
Oh, I've done it. Believe me, I've done it. I mean, I used to be self-employed, and I was really ill. Nobody can help you with the government, so I had to go and sell some stuff just to live. Yeah,
crazy. As obviously as you joined the band quite recently, well, in the last few years. Did you know where Troyen used to play back in the day? Do you know of? Or?
Yeah, all over the northwest. All over the northwest.
Bit of
Sorry,
smoke.
bad habit of mine. All over the northwest. They've even played Luxembourg and all over the continent and that. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I think is it Nightwing? They did a 20-date tour back in the past.
They might have done. Yeah, Jeff might have mentioned it to me.
Once or twice.
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're older and a bit wiser now. Where it's a 20-date tour for people who are our age, shall we just say, of that ilk, would be a bit of a thing. So I appreciate the fact that, yeah, we'll do the continent, but 1 or 2 days, not a tour.
Yeah, as we were saying, like a lot of venues are closed. I'm not sure if it's the same up north, but like we've had a load of venues closed around here. I mean, I'm not far from London. I'm in Hertfordshire, and
Right.
it's about there's so many gigs venues that have closed over the years. And it's quite sad.
Yeah, it's the same up here. It's the same up here. I mean, we used to have a really good rock scene going on round about. I mean, where I'm from, near Bolton, yeah, or Boughton as they call it, but Bolton. There used to be several venues, and they've all gone by the by because it's one of those. What was refreshing, getting back to the Belgium gig, what was refreshing is there's the Basma Pass is in a place called Kern, which is in absolutely the middle of nowhere, and there was thousands of people coming to see us. And I turned around to Jeff and Steve and I said, why can't it be like this in England?
I thought that as well when I played in France.
Like this in England? Yeah. I mean, you'd have to travel to somewhere like Trillions to see good bands or you know, Blackpool, the Victoria at Blackpool, they start having good bands on. But it used to be on every corner in every pub in every town, you know, decent venues, but they've all gone. They've turned into these fancy eateries now, and it's crap.
Yeah, pretty sad. Yeah. No, I played at British Steel Festival in France, and it was the same thing. There's loads of people there, appreciating the music. There wasn't really anyone sort of walking off to the bar or going for a cigarette. They were literally all fixed on the music, and they were loving it. So that's what it's all about.
I'm being messaged here. I think Jeff's trying to get in touch with me.
Oh, really? Bit of an interview.
Oh, I don't know. Leave me alone, Jeff. Yeah. No, people sending stuff.
Do you know where the demos were recorded in the early days?
I do. Hang on a second. I shall read. If he stops messaging me, I've had to. You gave me the questions, and I actually did some homework.
You can tell him all about it after.
Amazon Studios in Liverpool.
Okay.
And it was engineered by Gil Norton, who went on to bigger and better things.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. There's a Snatchback. I was talking to Steve from Snatchback in the last.
Steve.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
I did a gig with him at the Griffin not so long ago. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, but he was saying like that. I think the Amazon tapes were recorded in Manchester, so obviously it's quite close by. Liverpool, Manchester, it's not far at all. So, but I'm guessing back in the day, Manchester and Liverpool would have been the places you record. I mean, down here it was obviously London. You went to if you wanted to record quite a big sounding album or demo. So
things have changed now. Anybody who's got a Mac or a PC I've just got a studio. You know.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
It's so easy these days. Yeah, that's why there's so many albums that just randomly come out. I mean, with this pandemic that's going on at the moment, there's a few people that just randomly releasing stuff here and there because people listen to it because they're at home. So
I think it's the fact that they're not constrained by record companies anymore. Do you know what I mean? And you must do this and you must do that. I didn't want to get into all that. Same reason why I was a bit reticent about getting into another band is the fact that it's the whys, the wherefores, and why what you should be doing this. No, this is completely free, and it's brilliant because everybody you talk to, oh yeah, we're doing this and we're doing this, and nobody's we can't do this because such and such a body had the same pair of socks on a Tuesday in 1984. You know, you can't do that. You can't do that. Everything is as it is now, and it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's a lot more. Well, when you're not signed to a label, it's a lot more free for bands to expose themselves. And obviously, as we spoke before with like previous interviews, the money isn't exactly there as much as it was anymore. But like
we all work with it. If nobody says that you do it in for money.
Nah. Well,
No.
it's not really for the money. Obviously, it's more for the enjoyment, as you know, and like being free. But for example, if you sign to a record company these days, they kind of do this thing where they take money from your gigs, they take money from your album sales. It's all sort of take in a way. But I'm not saying all labels do this, but
yeah, that's the great thing. I mean, we're actually signed to Classic Metal Records in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they've got a say about the album sales, but as regards gigs and this, that, and the other, no, we're completely free. Sorry, I'm just looking to see what.
That's right. I mean, it's just great when a record label understands more of that kind of thing. So you take money from your gigs because you're traveling there and stuff, and then they maybe take a bit from the album sales or something. So that's the best way to do it. I
mean, the thing is as well, it's not just one record company that we've got. We've got another German company interested in doing the vinyl version of it, High Roller Records. So to be in this position, that I've been going down for a long, long time, trying to be noticed for what I do, what we do, whatever, and then have two record companies distributing the stuff is a pretty good thing, and without even trying. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we've got to get a record deal. We've got to get a record deal. We haven't even tried, and it's there. And I think that's getting back to what you were saying about the freedom. People are wanting to take us on because people are listening to us stuff. You know, there are a lot of good guitarists out there. There are a lot of good bands out there, and they're just not listened to in the past because constraints. You know, and yeah, it's one of those. One of those. We're all a big family, and I think that family is growing bigger by the day.
Especially the new Wubbin as well, because obviously a load of bands are reforming as well, and that's what I'm going to get onto next, the reunion of Troyen. But loads of bands are doing it, which is great, all across the country. So it's brilliant. Very, very cool. So the reunion. So obviously the original guitarist was in the reunion. How did it come about? Talk more about new music here and there. So we've got New Dawn, which is the new CD.
Last EP, yeah.
And then you've got the anthology that came out, which has, I think, the biggest Troyen song was Syrian Lady, I would say.
Yeah.
Syrian Lady.
Yeah. Surprising that one. Sounds very Maiden-y to a degree. I'm not a big Maiden fan. Thought, oh Christ, I'm not going to like playing this, and I actually really like playing it now. It's weird. It's weird. It's how it goes about. You know, it's the fact that it's one of our biggest tracks. People love it, and I thought, well, why did they like it? But then again, I've played it now, so yeah.
Do you know how the reunion came about? So do you know how like Jeff got in touch with everyone, or?
I think because Jeff, Steve, and Nick were all like school friends from days of yore, you know, with the stone tablets, because they're that old. People were saying, "Why do I think Jeff was messaged on Facebook to the organizer Brofest, saying it would be really good if you could get back together again." And obviously, he spoke to Steve, spoke to Nick. And Carl Aldorfer, who was the bass player originally, or he wasn't the original bass player. If you sounds like Spinal Tap, this, but yeah, they all joined together, and then they played the gig, enjoyed it so much, and then they said, right, let's do cut an EP, and that was the Storm Child one. But as moving forward, I mean, obviously, Troyen haven't done an album per se for quite a number of years now, so we've always done like further tracks. I mean, I think the EP, the New Dawn EP, was just to basically get mine and Mark's name on the Troyen thing, and actually get people listening to new music. Hence, You Like Nightmare. Nightmare came out of a riff that Steve was playing. And he says, "Oh yeah, well Nick never liked this." I said, "Well, let's do something with it." And I ended up doing that intro beginning bit, messing about, and it just came out, and it's gone into one thing, and a lot of people do like it. Same with Syrian Lady. So the only troubles we have with recording, with getting onto the new material, is the fact that we're so desperately trying to do a 3-4 minute song as opposed to 8 minute, 9 minute.
Yeah, Nightmare is a very long song, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool to do long songs. You've also got, is it Lady Evil? I think that's the first track on it.
Yeah, Lady Evil came out. Same thing. I was messing about with a riff. Oh, let's do something with that. Jeff writes all the lyrics, and then Steve changes them. Steve changes them to fit the actual song, basically. So Lady Evil just came out of that, and yeah, I come up with a riff, and everybody joins in, and this is what I like. It's not an individual things, you know. I mean, it's like now we're just messaging each other. Mark sent us a bass track down because I obviously record in Logic. Bass track down, so I'll stick some drums on it. I'll stick my guitar bits on with an idea. Email it back, see what you think. Everybody, you know.
That's the beauty of this day and age. Like, you can just have like a Mac or a PC set up in your room, and you can just demo stuff, and it's a lot easier to get your ideas across. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you can do it off a phone, but it's more obviously practical, I guess, to do it on a computer. So I
mean, obviously, I mean, it's what I'm used to. It's what I'm used to now. You know, it's not. I mean, the experience we had recording the EP, I ended up engineering it, producing it, writing out of stuff. I didn't want to do it. I sung the theme tune, wrote the theme tune, you know, that sort of thing. I don't want to do that again. So what we're doing is now we're doing prep work to get the tracks, ideas down, go in, practice them when we're released from Stalag Luft, Haslam,
the plague.
And then we've actually booked studio time in the beginning of November. I think it's beginning of November or something like that. And then we're going to record it proper at Redwall in Bury, which is near Bolton.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good studio. Sister Rose recorded there. I don't know if you've heard the
Sister Rose. Yep, heard of them.
They recorded there. I don't want to be everything to everybody, so that's one of the reasons why the record company basically said, we need you to go into a full production suite. So hence the reason why that's happened. It's all going good. It's all going good. Yeah,
sounds very, very positive. The last question. So we're about to wrap up the interview now. So, can you think of an amusing moment? Did you play any bands in the 80s, by the way? Like
Several. None that you've ever heard of, but yeah.
Were any of them sort of old New Wubbin bands, or like?
Mainly in covers bands, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know, everybody wanted to hear the next AC/DC tune they've heard several times before that week.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those, and when everybody says, "Oh, you should be in a Van Halen tribute band," but as much as I love Van Halen, Dokken, or whatever, I wouldn't want to play the music all night, every night. You know, but it's amusing anecdote.
Yeah, there's always an amusing story somewhere.
Right. This Troyen were on tour. I think they were in Switzerland, and Jeff got up one morning at the hotel, and it's a lovely across the lake, and he shall be known by this from now on. I want to spread the word. He got up in the morning, and there was a lot of people having breakfast on the veranda outside on the lake, and Jeff decided to throw stones in the river, in the lake, should I say. Skimming stones, and these stones are skimming across, and it hit a duck squarely on the neck and killed it outright, to the horror of all these people on the veranda.
Ooh.
So it shall now be known as Badly the Duck Assassin.
That's crazy.
I mean, from my own experience with funny anecdotes, I was working with George Lynch in Nottingham.
Oh wow, that's brilliant.
I was speaking to George, and he says, they'd just come off the flight, and he said, "Right, what do we want?" He says, "I want a coffee. Can we go for a coffee?" So we took him down to middle of Nottingham. He got a coffee with the green tea bag left in it. To say people are not of this world, yeah. So anyway, the following night, we went down to see a local band in Nottingham playing a gig with George. And Kieran, the guy who ran Firefest, got up and said, "Look, lads, is there any chance that George can get up and play?" "Oh, no, we don't have other people playing." So they played the set, and George left, and I went, "Pity you didn't let George Lynch play on this thing." And the guys just went, "Oh." So, yeah. Rock and roll stories, it's just stupid. Yeah.
There's loads of them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah.
So I'll wrap up now, Steve. So just to say, Troyen, check them out on Facebook. They've also got a new EP they released called A New Dawn. I'd recommend buying it from their web store. It's the link's on Facebook, isn't it, Steve?
It is, yeah.
So you can get it
from outside, yeah. There's a cartel thing, yeah.
There's also T-shirts you can buy as well. Same for all the other bands.
Beanie hats, sweatbands, plectrums, you name it.
And you've also got your own alcohol, haven't you?
Oh, what?
You got your own beer, haven't you?
No, that's Nick Grimley.
Oh, okay.
That's the famous Nick Grimley. That does beer and prints labels off for likes of us, Tyson Dog, Gang. You know,
the Weapon, I think, have one as well.
Weapon have one.
Yeah. There's a few of them.
Danny and Weapon. Yeah. It
seems to be the sort of norm now. Like people are like making. Obviously, it started with Iron Maiden and Trooper, but everyone seems to be doing the beer thing now.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's great.
It's great too.
It was the Grim Up North. It was the Grim Up North thing. I think it was. Yeah, I have a fine example of Tyson Dog Ale here.
There you go. Brilliant.
Yeah, brewed for Grim Up North 2019. It's a good vintage. Yes.
Very, very cool. Yeah. Are you guys playing at Mearfest in December at Trillions?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be there as well then, with Andrew Colton's giving help.
Okay. Right. Give me one and I'll try and hide. Brilliant. Yeah. Have you played Trillions before? Yeah.
No, I've never actually played Newcastle at all, so it's going to be interesting.
Right. It is. It is. Getting in and out of Newcastle's a bit of a chart, and Trillions is you've got to be careful where you park because we got a ticket last time. Yeah.
Really?
It's underground. It's actually underground, and if you park on the underground bit, you'll get a ticket. So yeah, it's a good gig. It's a good gig. Good people there.
People there. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And we were meant to play Mearfest in Slough, near Slough, down south, but that's been moved to December now as well. But that'll be really good also. Yeah, thank you very much, Steve. Again, check out Troyen online.
Jamie,
check out all of the. No worries, man. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Cheers.